Story called Flamingos in the Bathroom. It's kind of random because I just found one of these cards that had a picture of flamingos in a bathroom, so I decided to write about it. But I'm not reading the whole thing because it's like 9 pages. I'm going to read some.
Make sure you use the book.
Okay, are you ready? You are? Good. Now get comfortable and listen to the story. My name is Stella. I am 21 years old and I work at a zoo. So obviously I'm a zookeeper. Anyway, at the particular zoo I work at, there are a lot of different animals. There are elephants, bears, lions, zebras, chimpanzees, tigers, and even giraffes. But my favourite animals definitely have to be the flamingos. They are such beautiful birds, you know, with those long legs, necks, and beaks, not to mention their lovely pink feathers. When I'm around the flamingos, it's like I have a special connection with them. I always stare deeply into their eyes and smile. They smile back, or at least I think they do, in a special bird-like way. Just recently, one of the girl flamingos laid some eggs. I was fascinated. Never before had I seen flamingo eggs. It was really cool. But the thing that really wasn't cool was that my boss wouldn't let me keep the eggs. I had a meeting with him, and it seemed like he was in a rather bad mood. Stella, he said to me, I have made a decision. We cannot keep all of the flamingos anymore. There are far too many, so we will have to give the eggs to another zoo, along with some other flamingos. Is that clear? In my mind, I was furious, but I didn't show it. I nodded my head and smiled lightly. Really, I felt like punching him in the face. We had nowhere near enough flamingos. There were only like 10 people these days. So frustrating, am I right? Well, what needs to be done has to be done. I sadly walked over to the flamingo's enclosure and picked up the 3 eggs. The mother went berserk. She started pecking and squawking at me. I know, I'm sorry, I cried. I felt terrible. I knew this was not the right thing to do. My boss, however, was delighted. The next part, though, was going to be really hard for me. Animal control was going to come the following day and take away the flamingos. That night, I got hardly any sleep. I lay down on my bed, thinking about the poor birds. They deserve to stay here in the zoo, not in some other zoo with some other keepers. I was only asleep for 2.5 hours, and I usually have around 10 hours sleep, so I was so tired. In fact, I was so tired that my boss had to keep shaking me to snap me out of a little daze. He was trying to explain to me about the flamingos, I think. Wait, yes, maybe because I basically fell asleep and wasn't paying much attention. I heard, Stella, wake up, and that was pretty much it. Anyway, later on that day, after I met my boss at the office, I could go back home. You see, that day was my day off, but as you might have already guessed, I decided to hide the flamingos from the dangers. Animal control was due to arrive at 5:30, and I had 3 hours left. I needed to think of a plan, and fast.
What have you been writing about?
Oh, well, I wrote a poem about snow. And, okay. The fluffy little snow on the ground, winter's tiny pet, sparkles like an ice winder's scale, something very special to get. It covers the trees and the flowers, making them empty and bare, or the creatures turn its color, like the Arctic fox and the hare.
Wow.